All right, now that you've learned about if, else, else if, switch, case, and menu, it's time for you to try one on your own. Here's an example problem that you might do using branching structures. So this one asks you to create a program to prompt the user for a scalar value, that's the temperature, and then you're going to do one of three things. If it's equal to or above 80, you do one thing. If it's 60 to 80, you do something else. And if it's equal to or below 60, you do a third thing. All right, so go ahead and pause this video, try this on your own, and come back, and I'll walk you through a solution after that. All right, welcome back. I will say first, I think the easiest way to do this problem is using if and else if, because we have ranges of values. We have temperatures that could be anywhere above 80, anywhere below 60, instead of switch and case, which is better suited for a limited number of options. So let's go over to MATLAB and we'll put this into practice. Let me get rid of that. I'll create a new script here and I will say what we're going to do. So before I get started writing code, I'm going to make myself a little plan. In comments, I'll say the first thing I need to do is, so this is exercise for structures. So let's give it a title, structures. And then the first thing I need to do is gather input from user. And then after I gather the input, I will sort, choose between three ranges, and then I will display a message to the user. So these comments give me some guidance, kind of an outline of what I need to do and what's remaining to be done. It also helps to let my somebody who reads the code know what this section was supposed to be doing. So that's nice. So the first thing I need to do is gather input, and I'm going to save the input as a variable called temp. Input from the user, and I'll say enter the temperature in Fahrenheit. Put a space there. Not expecting a string, so I won't put an S. And then I don't need to see that output. I don't need to see the value of temp as MATLAB saves it to the variable called temp. So I will just put a semicolon there. Next, I need to choose between three ranges. And you can either start from the top or start from the bottom. It's the same either way. But if temp is greater than 80, I'll start from the top. Then what I want to do is display a message that says, wear shorts. You should wear shorts today. Today, close that. And else if temperature is greater than 60. So I'm only considering the fact that temperature has to be greater than 60, greater than or equal to. No, let's leave it as greater than. So I should change this one to equal to. Let's look at the problem again. If it's equal to or above 80. So yeah, that first one should be equal to or above 80. Else if temp greater than 60. Why don't I need to say temp is greater than 60 and less than 80 here? And the answer to that is because I've already taken into account the temperatures that are greater than or equal to 80. If it's greater than or equal to 80, MATLAB executes this text and skips to the end statement. So it's not looking at the other cases. This is different than some other programming languages, which is why I'm emphasizing this. But I can assume here, if I get to this point, if I get here, then temp is less than 80. So I already know that that's true. If I get to this line, actually I'm going to move that. So I don't need to check for it. I can assume that it's true. Display, it's a beautiful day. Sure. And else, I don't need an if, I just want else. Because in this case, I've taken into account all other possible options for temperature. By the time I get here, I know temp is less than 60. Less than or equal to. Because if it was greater than 60, I would have gotten a yes right here and stopped with this statement. So I can assume I'm in the right range. That's assuming that I got an integer in the first place. Anyway, well, that's a perfectly good assumption. If we're under 60, let's say be sure to wear a jacket. Oops. Okay, so I can have that. And so I've already displayed the message to user. That's done. I just need the end statement and I'm done. Let's run it to check. Enter the temperature. So I'm going to enter one in each range. And then I'm going to check the in-between case, the fringe cases, the border cases, to see that those are working also. So I picked numbers that were clearly within each range. I might want to check -1,000. I love this. -1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, wear a jacket. Cool. But let's check the fringe cases to make sure I get what I was supposed to. Remember, with 80, it was supposed to sort that into the highest category and say you should wear shorts. So that's good. Let's run it one more time. 60, be sure to wear a jacket. That's what we wanted because the problem said if it was equal to or below, then it should tell them to wear a jacket or a coat, I guess. That's fine. Jacket or coat if you like. So there's other ways to do this, but this is one way to get all the boxes checked off. By the way, if I run section and put in, like, I don't know, 12, what happens? It says I don't understand. So this is something that MATLAB is doing. I did not program this in. MATLAB by default will say, that's not really what I expected. And because it's not expecting a string, it's expecting a number. And if I put in any other number, that's fine. There's no problem with fractions or decimals or negatives, as we saw. All right, so that's an example, in this case, using if and else if to sort through multiple ranges of variables. See you next time.